So yesterday was one of those packed days that we have on a trip. I try to schedule it such that there are kind of breaks in between to kind of recuperate. But yesterday was so packed. Of course, I didn't do a video, but it started out. There's a local pastor here who's in the process of moving up north to his home village. His name is Pastor Charles. He asked us to do some discipleship training for one of his leadership teams, both here and then up north in the town of Lyra. And so we had I think 10 of his leadership team come here to the Bethel House of Prayer, and from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. we did training. Now, what we did was we took our 3-day retreat that we generally do with the some of the young men from Bethel, the new people that are coming in the discipleship retreat, which we're going to do. I'm going to do one of those at the end of the trip. So we took the content from that and we compressed it down into those 6 hours or so. So it was a little intense. But what we do in that, and this is a good opportunity to describe, because discipleship is the foundation of what we do. Christian discipleship, helping young men and young women be raised into godly men and women. That's mainly what we do. So we start out as a foundational scripture, John 10:10, which says that the part B says, I've come to give you life and life to the full. That's a promise. So we talk about a promise, a problem, and a provision. Those three P's in the content of what we teach. So the promise is that he's promised us life and life to the full. But the first part of that same verse says there is a thief, and he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So what that one verse tells us is that we have a promise, but that promise is opposed. And so God gives us provision. And there's lots of provision that God gives us. But we talk about two of them. One of them is discipleship, walking with someone, taking the Great Commission and putting it into practice. 2 Timothy 2:2, where Paul describes to Timothy the entire process of the repetitive process of discipleship. So we talked about discipleship and then community. Two things that God has provided to us to overcome the problem of the enemy stealing, killing, and destroying. So we did that whole thing, and it will be interesting to see how much they could retain and how much could sink in, because there was a lot of information. Now Barnabas, the head of Bethel Youth Ministries, that we've walked with for since the first trip to Uganda in 2012. Barnabas is the one who does most of that teaching. Then the community part, we have Isaac, who works for us, and Paul, who works for us, and they did the community part. I did the intro and the wrap up. So that was the morning. Then we immediately left. We took the pastor from the slum who is going to be providing to us students for the VOTEC residential program beginning in February. We took her to the facility that we have. So we have the VOTEC dormitory, if you will, that we're putting together now, so that we can house the students and they don't have to worry about transportation to and from. It's walkable to the training center. So we took Pastor Christine, to that dormitory so she could see it, and then took her to the VOTEC training so she could see it. She's going to be talking to parents about their kids joining this program out of the slum. And so Christine was pretty excited about what we're putting together. And she said, this is good. They will love it. She said, I will tell them and they will send me their children. So we're only going to take 10 and we're going to train them and put them through Christian discipleship. She's going to work with us. So then we went immediately from there to Martin Garia, is a wonderful man who has gotten involved with the Dad Base ministry, kind of partnered with the Dad Base, and they had a what they called Dad meets sons, or dads meet sons. And meat is spelled MEAT because they do a barbecue. And we had a lot of meat. We had pork and chicken, and more pork and chicken than you can consume, although they can consume a lot of meat. So they had the program there, and now it was an overnight. I don't participate at this point in life in overnights, so we stayed until I guess 10:30 ish, almost going on 11, which is way past my bedtime, and we didn't get back till 11 or so. I didn't get to bed till probably 1 ish. So it was a very full day yesterday, and so today is a new day. Excited about today as well, and I'll talk to you about that tomorrow.